Okay, so by the time I was 17, I came to the streets. I had 4 kids already. That's how I started school. Yeah.
You're a strong woman.
I had 4 kids by the time I was 17.
By the time you were 17, Recia,
Yes. They were like that stairs.
were you afraid? So welcome to the 180. I'm Dr. Deborah Wilson, your host, and I am so excited to be here with my sister, Recia. That's the barn. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and we met during Kingdom Boot Camp. Well, Kingdom Boot Camp was doing ministry with QPod, and I was so interested in Ricia's story and just excited about her heart that she did give to Christ while she was here, but more so about her testimony. And so I asked her if she would be willing to meet with me here at 180, and she agreed. So here we are today, and I'm so blessed and grateful for her. And so we're going to get started. How you doing?
Okay, because you look good. Thank you.
All right. So when we were in class, you brought up a lot of things. I really think that you were a mentor to a lot of the ladies out here. And I think you talked about having children, having grandchildren, and while you were going through different ebbs and flows of your addiction, that you just really did not want to be around your family.
Right.
So you said, how long were you doing, and what were you doing that caused you to distance yourself from your family?
Well, I started back in the early 80s when it passed away. I came to the streets to find out who I because I went to revenge, that type of stuff. So in the process, I had my kids now, and I came to the street.
How old were you?
I was 14.
You were 14?
Yeah.
You had kids at 14?
Well, by the time, I was 14 when all this.
When your brother was.
I was 14 when I got pregnant with my first son.
Okay.
Okay, so by the time I was 17, I came to the streets. I had 4 kids already. That's how I started school. Yeah.
You're a strong woman.
I had 4 kids by the time I was 17.
By the time you were 17, Recia.
Yes. They were like that stairs.
Were you afraid?
Like, and God bless them because my kids would be kids and cry and do that. Yeah.
Were they by the same person?
The birth certificates, yeah, but no. They found out later on when my son got deployed to Afghanistan that I had to come forward to tell the story,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were kind of, oh my God. And they went 99% who their dad was,
Have they connected with their father?
Of course, the next day. Yeah. Yeah, they thought
Did the fathers know about them?
yeah. One of them didn't. He said he didn't know, but he got my brain on purpose. So yeah. I never seen him again until after my daughter found out. Yeah, I told her, and she found out the next day. We went and had a blood test, and there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that was good, right? The recognition.
Yeah.
So let's go back to when you were 14.
Okay, so I was 14, had my first son, and my brother was incarcerated and stuff, and the whole time when I was, YA or whatever, whatnot.
Is he older than you? Your brother was older than you?
Yeah, passed away. Yeah. So then as I went on, he told me before he got killed, he brought me a big old computer and told me this will be the way of your life when you get older, And I was like, okay, so I didn't even know how to hook it up or anything.
Back then, yeah.
I didn't even know how to hook it up or anything, but I learned how to hook it up, turn it on, everything, and that was that,
Mhm.
And so so then he asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, oh, I want to be a correction officer because he's always thought that, Or I want to rob the post office. There's nothing. Wait.
You said, wait, I'm not sure. You said you want to be a correctional officer or you want to rob
The post office, yeah.
why do you want to rob the post office?
It's either, there's no in between for me. It's either going to be good or bad.
Oh, I got
So
you.
there's no in between, there's no.
Well, why a post office?
Because no one's ever did that. Back then, I don't know. So I just thought, what came to my mind, I never thought about it.
Well, you were 14.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would just, because I was most of the people are the most respected people, you know? Okay, so are correctional officers, you know?
Yeah.
So I check either one.
So you were either going to become one or rob one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you say?
And he's like, where'd you get that from? What do you want to be a CO for? Like, because you know, sometimes so I could see you all the time. I did him so much, you know, like, I didn't, you know? And so he would choose, you know, that was off that, you know, and just, and so, so when I turned, I was going to be, I turned 17, I was ready to be 18. I got in trouble looking, you know.
By that time you had 4 children.
By that time I had 4 children. Gang affiliated and tattoos, or, you know, and so I'm not proud of them, just, you know, but just.
How do you earn tattoo? Were you feared? So there was not just.
I want respected that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and now that I've changed, now that I'm older, I'm not as violent as I used to be, you know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I really don't have to, because there's, as soon as I start swinging someone else, they start swinging most of the big thing. And so that's why I don't do that.
And plus you're older.
Yeah, but I don't do that because I don't want my friends to go, you know, my homeboys and those kids, you know. I'm so kind of fucked up because, you know, I don't want them to stay here no longer because it sucks now how it is, you know. Just not the same like it was. It was fun on the line. Jail? Yeah, jail was fun before. Hey, jail was fun before, you know. Why? Because we have cameras and we got a lot of stuff, you know. Now we have cameras and everything will go there straight back and you're out, you know, you're dead. Pick up cases and some more stuff, you know. So it's kind of not the same anymore. It's not fun. Like, it's not like.
So when you were younger, coming to jail wasn't a fear?
No, it's my address. I did weird, you know, and I got sent to prison for 10 years.
You?
Yeah, my person.
Chowchilla.
Today's pay wasn't there yet. That was DSPM, but you know. So yeah, and that was a long way that my kids got it, you know.
Oh my goodness.
But I talked to my kids, I asked them for forgiveness, and I asked them to forgive me, you know, because before many people talk about them without crying, you know, I asked them for forgiveness because it was worth it. You know, my kids are good kids. They also know how to use Marine and small stuff. You know, my daughter's in the NBA, she's in basketball academy in New York. Yeah, she got a scholarship from NBC, all right, college. To play basketball. She's
She tall?
not much older than me, yeah. Yeah, but she's not really that tall, but she's good. She's be a wrestler. She only wrestled boys, her and her twin brother. But she's an big player.
Oh, you're twins instead of twins?
Yeah.
They're normal twins.
Like girl, yeah.
And how old were you when you had twins?
I was 28. I had twins.
28. Okay, so from 14 to 17, you had 4 kids. And then you had more kids after that?
Then I got prison when I was 26. Then I got pregnant with my daughter. And then I got pregnant again on the twins. So I'm saying, yeah.
You have 7 children?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are a strong one.
It was kind of hard when I got older to have kids. You know, it wasn't hard, but
You were 28, you were so young.
Yeah, I was a grandma at that time. By the time I had.
Because the other children were coming up.
Yeah, my son was 14. Sorry.
And again, a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's so much to unpack here. It's wonderful.
So, first of all, I'm proud of you. I mean, you're talking about going 180. That's going 180 for sure.
Yeah.
So you were a gangster.
Yeah. Michael. I looked at Don out and let us active, remember, yeah.
And so you were 14 and you started the life. When did you start? What were you an addict?
Actually, I wasn't an addict. No, I was at home mom. 14 years old, I had my own right, because my grandpa passed away, and my grandma inherited all his farm, and she drank it and died. And then
she drank. She was an alcoholic.
Yeah, she drank it up, and before that, she got me an apartment because she was. But this, I did with them. I took them to jail. My grandpa until I was 10. You know, yeah, I was born in a house American, so. But when he passed away, she went back to my parents. You know,
Were your parents young?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom had her own hair salon, and my dad went back to being the big portion already. So I came from a good family. You know?
Yeah, you did.
A really good family. All my aunts are correctional officers, and I have 2 nurses.
Okay, so do you have any siblings?
I have 7 brothers. And me.
You're the only
I'm the
girl.
only girl.
And the baby?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest.
Yeah, so they're all my kids now.
Yeah. And do they look up to you, or did they?
Yeah, that's all game members. But no.
Yeah.
They're all game members.
Were your parents were involved in games?
No.
And you were raised here in Monterey County? And your parents were involved in games?
No.
Your mom had a hair salon?
Yeah.
Your dad owned half of the
So that's all that's yeah.
Yeah.
Valentino's and what all timing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Went in the 80s.
And like, yeah.
And then your dad,
Yeah. He was a Marine, also. And he would have a thing to be plush.
so what happened?
So what happened was my brother was spoiled as kids, I guess. I guess that they have spoiled kids. They don't want us to do. They were never there, because
They was working. Okay. Were you latchkey kids?
yeah. So my kids are all, I told my kids, it was worth it for me to be away from you, for you to tell me how you are. Because the one that's carried with me all the time that is always with me is in prison right now. So, and my brothers, we were all in the same room for not that long ago when I was in your class.
Me?
My brother, my two brothers, and my son, and my grandson.
Your grandson?
My grandson was here too also.
How old is he?
He's 20.
And he's in the county.
Well, he wasn't there, he's out there.
All of you?
Yeah. Really, at which time, but my son and my brother and our prison, my other brother is still with me right now. And my grandson had
Are your parents alive?
so no.
They both died. Were they sick?
My mom chose the liver, and my dad.
Oh, because she's
yeah.
And then your grandparents have died.
Two, yes.
So you're basically it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as the oldest, the person you take care of.
Yeah,
And then, so you had 7 brothers, and one passed away.
the oldest one. The oldest, I was older, yeah.
Oh, he was older than you.
Yeah.
And he was the one that was killed.
Yes.
How
This
did
is that he was shot in Sacramento.
So you're 14, you have a child, and you live with your child in an apartment by yourself at 14.
I have my own apartment. About you over there in my it's a 1-bedroom apartment. Well, I'm over the cost to make she got an apartment across.
Oh, your mom was still alive.
My mom was alive too, yeah. And my grandma was too.
Oh, okay.
And she got an apartment for me because she was starting to date and do other stuff, but she didn't want me living with her anymore.
Your grandma?
My grandma.
All right now. So grandma put you out.
Yes.
And grandma put you out, but she got to an apartment
Right.
and set you up.
Yeah,
At 14.
yeah, because none of my aunts made it with them. So, and I wasn't even thinking that either.
When your aunts, are they on your mom's side or dad's?
Yeah.
And are they alive?
Yes, one of my aunts that's my mom's eldest, she took care of him. She fed my mom too.
Okay.
She the one that took care of my daughter when I was in prison.
Okay.
So my daughter, she's like,
That's her like your mom.
that's her mom. Yeah, that's her mom too.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was calling, so she raised her. She had a good job, And my son was with his parents, his grandmother and his father both passed away too, so he's not opening there. So all he has is way now.
His father died?
His father passed away.
Was he engaged?
He got killed too.
He was killed? There was a lot of anguish. Anguish means that anguish is like a level of hurt that is so painful that's almost overwhelming.
Right.
And it's an aching type of
technique, yeah.
And you have had a lot of anguish in life. You lost your brother. And so the brother that was killed, that's what sent you over the edge, kind of. So you were involved so you started doing the game thing at 14. Okay.
And then 16.
And then 16, and then 17. And you were out there doing your thing, right? All right.
Yeah.
So, but was it in a game situation?
Actually, my baby's dads are squares, actually. Yeah.
So in other words, instead of the good girl likes bad guys, the good guys like the bad girl.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just the opposite.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you have a good personality. Have you always been this pleasant?
No.
Oh.
No. I never thought I would be sitting here in 20 years telling my story, I never thought that I would be able to do that, because I just didn't think I was, like I was telling my home good every day. It's people. I'm nice, I think I'm nice guy, we should hear out nice. I'm like, what do you mean?
Even now?
They tell me you're not nice. Well, I guess I am. So you're not nicer than you used to be, but you're really not nice. Because I have just some certain weight, just right now, see that they put in our pod.
So you're saying that while you're here, an individual that's been added to the pot as an inmate,
Right.
and she's in jail.
She's in jail. And she won't keep quiet right now.
And are these pods set up based upon criminal activity?
Yeah.
So being 14 and being now you're 53,
54.
54, you turned 54. Oh, you're happy birthday. Oh, that's a happy birthday. Okay. So you turned 54. So all this life.
I know those like friends, kids, and who the parents are, where they came from. I know everybody in this whole town. I remember Olivia, what her name is, and you know, I'm starting to know more people with like first and last name. You know, so it's important when you're dealing with a game life that you know people by that first and last name really are where they came from, because there's some things you can really serve humanity. And these people are related to those people. You can't be doing certain things, you know, around them or to them or with them.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is just this is a commercial break. When Jesus was coming up, Jesus was ministering. He had a Peter with him.
Right.
And Peter was the one that would cut off the person's ear, and then, you're my Peter. You always gotta just listen. You always gotta have somebody. Right? You got John that's going to give you the revelation. You got Luke that's going to give you the doctor perspective. You got Mark that's going to be probably calm. But you got that Peter that says, I wish you heard. I just say that. Right. You'll get it twisted. Right. So, so on your way coming to me, you have an individual that came into the pod.
Yes. Well, we already did with them, but
you don't want them to be housed with
they're with us, right? And that's not, you know.
So should she be in isolation?
She was in isolation. For some reason, they bought her cheap on. I don't know. I don't understand that. But right now, when I was coming out, we have an antenna, right? And it's already broken because some lady that doesn't come here decided she wanted to touch it, and she broke it. And so it was kind of like a little conflict right there, because I was like, she didn't want to hear what I had to say. And I was going to tell her, because I live here. It's in my house, and you're messing up my antenna, and you're messing up my channel on my TV. And if I don't, if I don't say something about it, nobody has to say anything. I'm trying to scare it, you know? And so, like, I'll say this stuff because I'll be the one. I don't want anybody else to say anything because I don't want them to lose their date. If anybody's going to get taken out of the pot, it'll be me, you know? And I'll go to lockdown, listen to someone else. And there's no one else that should say anything because they don't. I see what you're saying. You know, I'm not trying to involve anybody else.
And they have children, and you want them to be able to keep their date and go home.
Right. It's not like that, because when somebody does go on, when somebody does go on there, beat you up. That's it. No. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that anymore.
Even at this age?
Yes, at this age, because before when I was growing up in school, I used to get to school every day. My mom had to pay my friend $40 to take him to school every day. And the reason why she got $40 was because they already knew I was going to take some of the money from her. So when I was, she want me to watch it in your eye, right? So I said, one Central. She want me from Central to watching in your eye. That's the type of her to get there, you know? But to make sure I got there every day to school, she got paid $40. So when I get there, like, okay, give me $20. She's like, what do you mean? If it wasn't me being messing up, you would be getting those $40. So I get $20 of those dollars. She's like, okay, but she'll give him $20, you know? And then she picked the other 20.
Was she afraid of it?
Yeah, and I already had $40 relax, you know? So
and your parents got money.
Right, so I got $60. And they would give me $40 just so I would just go to eat lunch, you know?
They were worried about you.
Yeah, and so
did they really, your parents realize you were in trouble?
Yeah, because every day my mom would get a phone call at her hair shop from someone to come pick me up. So finally she put me out on the list to come and get me. That's how I stayed with while she was at work. So I would have to babysat while I was getting older, you know, because I couldn't be at home by myself because I would never.
Did you know why you had a propensity to want to to be in trouble all the time?
Well, because I was just like, I was so spoiled, I guess, that I was used to just being by myself and having everything I wanted. And when I was going to school and someone would just look at me crazy, I would just want to fight them.
But why were you angry?
I don't know.
Were your parents angry?
I would say angry. I think it was just because I knew I can't.
Were you a bully?
Yeah.
Were your parents like that?
No.
Where did you see it?
I don't know.
You don't even know where it came from?
I don't even know where it came from. It just was inside me, just in my, I don't know.
And did your parents try to talk to you?
No. My mom would be like, okay, whatever, and smack me or whatever. My mom never really hit me. And my dad never hit me, but she used to make me spoiling. And because my dad's Japanese, So he would make me do karate and all that other stuff in the garage.
Oh, well, that would be better.
So then, to get my first shot, but I never wanted to fight with my kids. I would never want to do that because I just didn't. So when the kids, I wanted to hit and ball down and beat her up,
So what is your nationality?
Japanese, Mexican, and Filipino.
Oh,
Yeah.
was your dad into martial arts?
Yes.
Well, yes, and you understood how to fight
Yeah.
from a different perspective.
Yes, I was raised like that.
So you took
Jiu-jitsu, karate, all that, boxing, and all that in my garage. My dad. So,
okay.
and this is my daughter.
Okay. So it was really for protection.
Right.
But then you decided to take it to school and start showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And you would you use the hooks on the kids?
I went to karate and stuff like that. I would just, it would just happen so fast. I would just beat them up. And I went to the home one time for breaking some girls' ribs.
You hit them that hard?
Yeah, I hit her hard in the
And you knew how to hit.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a regular getting box.
Yeah.
And did you beat your brothers up?
No, I love them so much. So we never fought. We don't ever fight. And it was like, okay, when I was living with my mom and dad, my brothers were already living there. I was just the one I did with my grandma, because I was a girl and they don't want to take me to babysit or whatever, And so my brothers, they would leave them at the house because I had an older brother, they would watch them. And so my brothers after me would watch them. So I couldn't live with them in my room, but they couldn't come in my room.
Unless you weren't her.
Right. They had to stand at the door and talk to me.
Was that from your mom and dad?
Yeah, we couldn't be hugging and kissing and like sitting next to each other, like weird shit.
Because you're the only one.
Right.
Okay.
So
who's protective? Your dad or your mom?
My dad. Okay. My dad, who was because he's military, so he didn't say that, playing in the blankets together and shit like that. He wasn't like, brutal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so they couldn't come my room. So it was just like, so we love each other so much, we without him seeing us, we couldn't talk at the dinner table, stuff like that,
Oh, he was that strict.
Right. We can't talk at the dinner.
So how did you get in so much trouble and your dad was so strict?
Because I'm a girl.
He never spanked you or anything?
Mm-hmm.
So what did he say to you?
Just do what she wants. Just do what she wants. Like I wanted to change my last name, joke with me, but I changed my last name at when I was going to junior high. This is crazy. So when I was going to junior high, I couldn't by that name.
Why?
Because Yokobizo's at the end of the alphabet. So you're at the end of the line. So I'm going to junior high, so
You know what? I'm gonna need for you to act like you have some gift right. Like, no, you did not want to change your name because you don't want to be at the end of the line.
Right. So that's how small that was. And so I told my dad one day, and he's like, at the dinner table, he was like, are you talking at the dinner table? I was like, yes, I have to ask you something. He's like, what is it? And I was like, well, I'm going to change my last name. He's like, who's telling me this stuff? And I was like, nobody. I just want to change my last name. Why? Because I want to be at the beginning of the line. I don't want to be at the end of the line anymore. He's like, what? He's like, I don't know what's wrong with me at the end of the line. And nobody can pronounce my last name, so I can't sign that, And I'm getting irritated and embarrassed and stuff so I'm gonna, so let me change her last name, just do what she wants.
So who did you change it to?
To my mom's last name.
Oh, okay. And she was okay with that?
So, yeah.
Were your mom and dad close?
Yeah.
Did they have a good relationship?
Yeah.
There was no violence or anything?
When I was there, I didn't see nobody. I didn't see nobody.
So as far as you're concerned, they had a really good marriage. And how did they meet?
She's because he was here military. She was he was getting us I guess that's where I get it from. So at Fort Ord. Yeah, I was cracking back in the day.
I really do miss Fort Ord.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen it when in the 80s. I seen when it was very soft. Yeah,
it was really hard.
It was
it hit our economy that too, right? Yeah. Okay, so now you're 17, you're living across the street from your mom and your grandmother, everybody's still alive, and you have your 4 children, and they're helping you with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a job?
Well, see, this is the thing. Okay, so my aunt, when I started that raising, well, she had a job. She works in where they make bombs or whatever, I don't know where. And she would come home every day from work and pick my kids up and take them with her. So I didn't have any kids or anything without and after she don't work.
So you were going to school?
No.
So this album, when did you start going to school?
I on the computer.
Did your brother bought you a computer? Right. Did you know how to use it?
Yeah, I've been when I started doing 5 stuff and
on the computer.
Yeah, I started learning how to use it in the wrong way.
You just were bent on doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So you were like, I can only imagine.
Nobody knew what I was doing, but I was doing fun.
Like changing.
I was shopping on everybody's identity.
Yeah.
I already
Okay.
went to prison for a so I could talk about it.
Okay.
I already got time for it, so I could talk about it now.
Right. White collar crime.
Right.
So you were using other people's identity and profiles to shop. Okay. So
I want a skateboard, Mom. Okay. What do you want on it? Oh, I want this, I want that. By the time I don't skateboard, I keep on the car. You know?
so everybody else has a skateboard and theirs rides by itself. It wasn't what?
Right.
I'll let you.
Right.
They took skateboards to another level.
Yeah, breaks. You know? Looks.
You know what? Okay, so this is what you're doing. So why would your aunt come take your kids?
Because she felt like she needed to be.
Because you're younger.
Right. They took care of my kids and everything, but you know, I never get my kids or anything like that. I was a good mom, you know?
You changed their diapers and
I
you
took
did
the
it,
diapers for them and made their balls.
but she just wanted to, and you were okay with that.
Nah.
And
It was wrong to me, and that was like what I thought was happening.
yeah, and it was your mom's sister.
Mom and sister.
And what did your mom? Was your mom close to your kids?
Not really, because she was working a lot, and you know, stuff. So like, I doesn't have any kids.
Oh, okay.
What about you? So like, yes.
And was your dad close to your kids?
No, because they separated. They got divorced.
Okay, yeah, parents did.
Yeah, they got divorced. I thought my mom was living in the apartments. So that was doing that.
Were you
Because they had multiple houses and stuff that they got divorced, so they sold them all.
Were you upset when they got a divorce?
Yeah, I was upset when they got divorced, yeah.
But who were you closer to, mom or dad?
Neither one. So my parents.
Oh,
My parents.
so you're closer to your.
I was closest to my siblings than my parents. Because they weren't there, you know?
Mhm.
So, and so my brother was off to visit back and forth. He gets murdered, that's why I can.
And he got out of prison and then got murdered.
Yeah, so he called me on Monday and told me, hey, I'm gonna be there on Friday. Be ready, so I'm gonna pick you up, you know, whatever. And I was like, no, just let me come and get you. Just let me come and get you. I felt like, well, bitter. And you know, and he's like, no, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come on Friday. I'll be there on Friday. Just know I got a car. I'm gonna come and get you. Oh, like, we'll pick you up. He's like, no, I'll be there on Friday. Got a call on Wednesday. We had to identify his body. And I was deeper to the game at that time. Good snitch. I didn't have to do any of that. My family wasn't involved in anything that had to do with anything that he had going on.
And so is he in prison now?
That's right. And because my brother told me that, I told him, I asked him, like, well, hey, why don't you slow down and have kids, you know, and change your life? This was the last time my life is this life, and you die in this life. And
So you live by the sword, as the word says, and you die by the sword.
like, that's what they said.
And that was what he chose to do.
That's what he told me. So can mind. And yeah, he told me this is the way it is. This is the way I'm gonna die.
And that's what he wanted?
No, but that's just what he chose.
That's what he chose.
That's his life he lived.
Now, how did your parents feel that? I feel like I'm going back and forth. How did your parents feel that you all were involved with gangs?
They knew that my brother, because he was in YA and all that.
Did they understand the level and the depth of? Did your grandparents understand it?
No.
Did your aunts understand it?
Oh yeah, they did because they're correctional officers. So they know. So they knew. Yeah. So when I got pregnant with my oldest son, my aunt told me to don't be with him because if I had a boy was because his dad was in prison and she knew the family. So she didn't want me involved in that family.
And you did it
I
anyway.
did it anyways. Yeah. I went looking for him. I went finding him because I liked him and I wanted to be soon. I got kicked out of every school so he has to find out what school he was at.
And so your children grew up. So when did you go to prison?
When I was 17.
Which you weren't supposed to prison.
No, because I was minor.
But you were charged as an adult, right? Because of gun charges.
So I understand receiving that until I was 18.
Okay. Is that, when you say gun charges, what does that mean?
Because I had a solid shotgun, so they charged me for multiple different things for the same gun.
Okay.
So it ended up being 24 gun charges stolen then.
My God.
Yeah. They just made an example out of me pretty much.
Right. And so you got 2 strikes.
2 strikes, yeah.
Thank God you didn't get a third one.
Oh yeah, no.
No. And so you went to prison for 10 years?
Yeah.
And how was
I
that?
did 8 years and something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
That was fun. I had fun.
Was it a need for it not to be fun?
No, it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. But as time went on, you know, I gave that number back and I picked up the identity theft one. After I gave that number back, I had 100 felonies for identity theft. And so I go back to prison and it wasn't fun anymore. It was not that fun anymore.
Well, did you miss your children?
Yeah, I was at this point, I just detached from them. At this point, I detached from them because I know it's hard for me to go every day and see them when they leave, and I know it's hard for me. I can imagine how hard it is for them.
Were they brought to come see you?
Never.
Okay, you don't want that.
I didn't want that. I didn't want them to come see me. I didn't want, I didn't want to write to them or, I still want to be involved in their life. I should not be involved, because it was for their better for them. I felt, I thought it was better for them.
And none of your kids are involved in gangs.
No, same. No.
Okay.
See, but my eldest one that goes to jail, the one that's in prison right now, because he hangs out with me. He comes with me everywhere. I used to take him to the car shows. I used to take him to everywhere.
So he saw everything that you were doing,
Cruising, all that. So,
because he was the oldest. You had him when you were 14.
right. So I didn't raise him. I grew up with him.
Yeah. So he was like your little brother, 14 years old.
My big.
And so does he call you mom?
Yeah.
And so
Tell me mom, he bro with them.
and so he was with you, the majority of your life. So he took on your identity or took on your behavior. The others you separated from to protect them.
Right.
But now you're reconnected to them.
I've always been connected to them. I've never stayed away from them like that. But,
You just separated so that they would be
right.
Okay. With an understanding that I'm only doing this because I love you, not because I don't want you, type of thing.
And back then I used to tell every kid should be with their father.
For substance abuse treatment and mental health referrals, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration's National Helpline at 1-800-662-4357.